Well, hey friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. Today is the first day of winter. And I know over the past year, lots of y'all have gotten chickens for the first time, and you're discovering a major problem with livestock in the winter. And that's how to keep your water from freezing. So hang around with us for a little bit. We have got a couple of frost-free, well, I guess freeze-free, supposedly freeze-free chicken drinkers. We're going to test those out today. We're going to put them through the paces. We're going to torture test these things and see which ones work and which ones don't. And stick around with us to the end. We're going to tell y'all how y'all could get one of these for free. Okay, so everybody likes a good unboxing video. We bought two of the highest rated. We went on to Amazon and we found the two highest rated heated chicken drinkers that we could find, and so we have bought one of each. So what we're going to do, we're going to unbox these, we're going to take a look at them. I'm going to fill them with water, and then we're also going to have a control. We'll probably use just a bucket, and we're going to take these out to the big walk-in freezer, which is consistently at 0 degrees, and we're going to leave these things in there for a couple of hours and just see how they do. Both of them are plug-in, so if you have a chicken coop or a run or some kind of setup for your chickens, you are going to need power for these. Now we've got a different water setup. We unplug every night, which, you know, you can do that. There's a lot of aggravation, but if you're looking for a way to keep your chickens in water consistently without having to go out, break up ice, refill all, you know, every day, unplug your water, that kind of thing, this may be the answer. So I've got two. Let's unbox these. Let's take a look at them and kind of compare and contrast, and then we'll put them in the freezer and see how they do. All right, drinker number one. This is a 2-gallon drinker from Farm Innovators. They're based in Plymouth, Indiana. This drinker on Amazon, whenever we purchased it, I think it was $53. So it is a 2-gallon drinker, 53 bucks. Comes with, let's start at the bottom. So it is a plastic drinker. It's got the little chicken nipples on here. The chickens come up and they just tap on that and then releases the water. There's 3 of those on here, so you could water probably about 15 birds off of this without any problem. I'm expecting that it has a heating element in the bottom that keeps your water from freezing. It's got a wired in plug, goes to a 110, and then it's got the lid that goes on it. So this is drinker number one. This was one of the highest rated. It's a little bit of an economy drinker. Like I said, about 53 bucks on Amazon. I think 4.5 star review. Looked like a good one. So we're gonna test this one out. All right, drinker number two. A little bit different here. So this is a 3-gallon drinker from Premier One, and we use some Premier One products, good quality stuff. We use a lot of their fencing products. 3-gallon drinker. Same kind of setup. It's got the chicken nipples on here. They just come up and pick that. The water comes out. They do send you an extra set of nipples with it, a set of replacement nipples for that. So if one gets broken or whatever, you can replace it. This has a removable plug. So now the nice thing here compared to the Farm Innovations is that you could use this in the summertime, and if you don't need to plug it up, you can just take your plug out and just store it away somewhere for later use. Real simple. Got an outlet here on the side of the drinker with an arrow pointing up, so it just slips together, screws in. Same deal, plugs into a 110 outlet. Lid on top. Another little advantage here, the lid locks into place. So on the other one, the lid does not lock, but on this one it does. And then this has a fill port right here, so you don't have to take the lid off to fill it up. So about $90 on Amazon. At the time of this recording, they are not available on Amazon. They are also back ordered at Premier with an expectation that they should be back in stock in about a week to 10 days, I think is what it was. So let's take both of these out. We're going to fill them full. We will set them up on a couple of buckets so that they're not directly on the floor of the freezer. We'll put another bucket of water in with the freezer to act as a control. We're going to leave these for a couple hours, and let's see how they do. All right, y'all, give us a thumbs up on this. Working hard to test stuff out so you don't have to. Come on, Ruben. Sophie, she's got to wait on the buggy to come to her. Sophie, let's go. Let's go. Come on, baby. We got work to do. There you go. All right, what I'm going to do, we're going to put 2 gallons in the 2-gallon drinker and then pour it over into our 3-gallon drinker so we've got the same amount of water. That'll make it more of an even test. Okay, pour this over in here. Oh, wrong lid. Lid. All right, so here's where the torture test comes in. We're gonna put these in our walk-in freezer, and it looks like we're at 0. So we're gonna put these in here on 0. I'm also gonna put another bucket of water in here as sort of a control. So let's get these things in, get them hooked up. We'll put that other bucket in. So I'm going to set these up on a couple of buckets so they're not directly on the floor. Drinker number 1, drinker number 2. These things plugged in. All right, I'm going to put about 2 gallons in this bucket. I should have poured 2 gallons out of that Farm Innovations in here so we'd have a little bit more of a control test. We'll get close on this. This one has no heating element. We're not even going to put a lid on it. So I think if we're off a ½ gallon one way or the other, it's probably not going to make much difference. Set it right back there. Gonna work. All right, we got them loaded up in the freezer. Now, I told you at the beginning of the video to hang around to the end and we would tell you how to get one of these for free. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. This is, let's see, what could we call this? Test and share, test and giveaway, I don't know. Leave me a comment down below which one you think is gonna work better, or are they gonna work at all? Keep in mind, we've got the Farm Innovations was a $53 unit, and then the Premier One was a $90 unit. Leave a comment down below what you think, how the test is gonna come out. And then we will select 2 random folks that leave comments and we will send you one of these drinkers. Now I'm not going to promise who's going to get which drinker and you can't request. It'll be totally randomized. I'll randomly pick two folks, we'll get your address and we will randomly send you one or the other as long as they work. Now if one of them don't work then we won't give that away, of course. But the only way to win is you got to leave a comment down below. Which one you think is going to work better, they're going to work at all, just what you think the test results will be. And then we're going to send you one of these units. And for those of you that can't wait for the giveaway, I'll post a link in the description down below for both of these units. Now keep in mind, the Premier One, as of the recording of this video, was on back order. The Farm Innovations was in stock, but I'll still leave links in the description down below for both of them, so you can go over and pick one of them up on Amazon if you'd like. All right, before we go out and get the drinkers out of the freezer, I want to do a real quick shout out to our friend Richard. And y'all listen up for just a second. Richard is a longtime supporter of the channel, longtime customer of ours, and was actually one of our very first attendees at any of our workshops that we ever done. Richard's son Brandon is currently fighting cancer, and it looks like they're going to be in the hospital over Christmas. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below to the page that supports them. Go over and check it out. There's some information there on how you can send them a Christmas card and support the family in a couple other ways. So please go down and check that out. Richard, Brandon, we're praying for y'all. Hope things go well, and we're praying for a speedy recovery. So I was planning on driving, but there's no room. Sophie, Reuben, Buck, Maggie, and Whistle Britches. There's no room for the driver. So you're doing something kind of interesting. What you got?
This is Christmas.
Christmas ham. Got it?
Yeah.
So what you doing with this thing?
So this has been curing for about 7 days.
7 days.
No, Sophie, get back. And that's just in there to hold the ham down in the water.
Okay. So that's a ham.
Yeah.
What you gonna do with this ham?
So I'm gonna bring it over here.
Oh wow. Ain't that pretty?
Dry it off. And then I'm gonna set it back in the refrigerator. Get back to dry. Because we're gonna smoke this. And so we set it in the refrigerator uncovered so it can get tacky on the outside. And the smoke will adhere to it better.
Nice.
So this is Christmas. Christmas Eve to be exact.
Christmas Eve ham. All right, these have been in the freezer now for about 5 hours. I put them in about 11 o'clock this morning. It's a little bit after 4 right now. Let's go up to the shop. We're going to do an instant read thermometer. We're going to test the water temperature on each of the drinkers, and I can tell you that our control bucket is frozen. Okay, so we got them out of the freezer. I can tell you that this is frozen. We'll measure to see how thick the ice is on our bucket in just a second. But first I want to measure the water temperature, if it's still water, and I think it is in both of our drinkers. So we'll go with the Premier One first. I've got an instant read thermometer here. Water temperature is 41.7 degrees. 41.7 degrees on the Premier One. On the Farm Solutions, Farm Innovative Solutions, whatever their name is, water temperature 53.4 degrees. So our cheaper model, our cheaper unit coming in at 53 degrees, or at $53 is 53 degrees. Our more expensive unit at 90 bucks is 47. So about 6 degrees difference with the Farm Solutions. What is the name of this? Farm Innovations kept the water warmer, actually. So interesting, very interesting. Now let's drill down or see if we can break this ice and see how thick the ice was. All right, let's see how thick our ice is. Frozen, so that is frozen right there. Let me, I think I'm gonna take a hammer. Let's take a hammer and see if we can break the ice. Let's see how solid this is frozen. Yeah, okay. And a tape measure. All right, this is a very unscientific measurement here, but it looks like we had about a 1/4 inch of ice in our control bucket. Thick layer of ice on top, but once you get down, like I said, about a 1/4 inch, it's still water. If we had left this in the freezer for, gosh, probably a couple of days, this would probably be solid. But for the purposes of this test, I think it does prove that our 2 chicken drinkers will prevent your water from freezing. All right, there it is. The Farm Innovations, I went back and looked at the name. The Farm Innovations versus the Premier One heated poultry drinker. And our cheaper model seems like it did outperform our more expensive model. Like I said, for those of you that don't want to wait and see if you want, I'm going to post links in the description down below for both of these. The Premier One is currently on back order as of the filming of this video, but I do expect them to get them back in after the first of the year. Sounded like they were going to be making some improvements on this and some changes. Like I said earlier, if you would like, leave a comment down below. We will randomly draw 2 individuals and we will randomly send you one or the other of these poultry drinkers if you'd like to have one of those. I think these are probably most appropriate for you guys that are wearing skinny jeans that don't want to go out and check your water every morning and make sure that your chickens aren't frozen up. So, like we always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.